Hello, good afternoon. My name is Alvaro Angeles, and my partner for this project is Brandon Hyppolite. For this semester project, we have made a library management system. We have chosen to do so because it represents the core functionalities of a database and its queries very well. For example, a good library database has to keep record of customer data, card credentials, and book and DVD information. In order to retrieve and push data, we have made a management system in Python that connects to our database and performs differing SQL queries. So before any sort of programming, we have designed our database using only entity relationship diagrams and also making an overall database schema diagram. So in over here you can see the our database library relationship schema and how different tables relate to each other. And then here you can see our ER diagram, entity relationship, and how each table has differing qualities. Here you can see our database tables. We have books, card, customer, DVDs, and transactions. So in the books table, information about books is held. In the cards table, information about each individual's cards is held, such as IDs, and in customer, records about customers are held. In DVDs, information about each individual DVD. And in transactions, it's basically a log that keeps track of who checked out a DVD or book at a certain given amount of time and if they returned it or not. Here you can see our books table, our DVDs table, our card table, which contains IDs, the amount of items they have out, and the creation date. Customer holds their names, ages, emails, IDs, and PIN so they can log into the library management system. And transactions is basically a log that keeps track of who checked out what and if they returned it or not. This is our Python program. We have 5 functions, and the first one, show DVD, basically shows a table by calling a query to our database that returns all available books, and this function neatly shows them to the user. Show book is essentially the same function as show DVD, except it works with the books table, so it will show all available books instead of DVDs. The check credentials function takes 2 parameters, an ID and the PIN, from a customer that they have to input, and basically compares whatever they put in with the credentials that are found in the database, and if they are and they are correct, it will log them into the system. Checkout is basically our main function that enables the user to check out either books or DVDs. This works after the check credentials function, so this function will know who to register the book to. And the return function basically does the opposite of the checkout function. It returns books and resets a lot of the data back into the table into its original state, as in if a book has been returned or not, and yeah. And this is the driver code. So if we go ahead and run the library program, it will generate a greeting message. It will ask you to enter an ID, and it will also ask you for its corresponding PIN. And then using the check credentials function, it will use both the given ID and PIN to check if the data is present in the customer table. which it is right here. So it successfully logged us in. Then it prompts the user if they would like to check out something. We do, so we to enter 1 for yes. And then it asks us if we'd rather check out a book or a DVD. And in this case, I'd like a book. Because I entered book, it will show me a table of all available books. It will use the show book function, which calls to our database again. And it will return data in each row, which I neatly sort and display. And then it will ask us, please enter the ID of whatever book we want to check out. So I would like to check out Dune in this case, so I just enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If it's available, which it is in this case, the book is checked out. To do this, it uses the checkout function, and it updates 3 tables. So in this case, if I run this query again, it will show that Dune is no longer available. It will add a new log into the transactions table. Here I checked out Dune, and it shows that it's not returned because I just checked it out. And the customer table, it shows that, not the customer table, sorry. In the card table, it shows that this card ID has 1 book checked out. It's not required, but in the same session, we can also return the book we just checked out. So in this case, I would want to show you that, so I enter 1. It asks you again if it's a book or DVD that you want to check in, and I would just put book. Please enter the ID. The ID of Dune was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it says you have returned the book, and then the program terminates. So again, the check-in function or the return function is similar to the checkout function. It updates 3 tables, the ones I just showed you. So if we take a look at card, it will show that the quantity out for the card that we entered is back to 0. If we check the transactions log table, it will show that this book was returned. And if we check the books table, it will show that it's available once again. And yeah, that's how overall our library management system works. It performs, or it has 5 functions. Each one may perform 1 or more queries, most notably the checkout and return functions.
Hello, my name is Brennan Hyppolite, and this is our Business Intelligence and Analytics dashboard for our library management system. So this is our dashboard, and as you can see, there are 8 different visuals created using Power BI. So the first visual is a table with the author's first name, last name, the count of books they have, the title of the book, and the year is made. So all this is for what's in the library. The table below that is the same, but for the directors, with the director's first name, last name, the count of DVDs that they have in the library, the name of it, and the year it was made. Next, we have the customer's visual, which provides the customer's first name, their last name, their email, their age, and the PIN number. These are all the customers that are registered with the library. After that, we have the customer ID, the count of books and the count of DVDs that they have used from the library. So this is connected to the customers, and I'll show you how. So if I go to the next image, I selected the first customer, Amanda, and from after that, you can see in this visual, it highlighted her customer ID while taking out the others. So next is the count of book and the count of DVDs. This is just a bigger visual to display the total number of books and DVDs that are in the library currently. After that, we have two different pie charts. The first is the count of the books by the genre, which you can see has one book as fiction, another book as education, and two books as nonfiction. The next one is the same for DVDs. So one DVD or movie that's a thriller, one that's mystery, and two that are action. And if I scroll down, you can see that they are connected to the author and the director tables. So for the directors, I selected Alyssa Winters, who created The Prestige. After that, this pie chart for the DVDs select or highlighted her movie or DVD, which was The Prestige, which is the thriller. I did the same for the authors. So for Frank Herbert, who created Dune in 1965, it highlighted the fiction genre. Highlighting or selecting the different authors and directors also changed the count in these two visuals to display how many books or DVDs that author or director has in the library. So for the last visual, this displays the year, the month, the day of when a book was checked out, and then the year, quarter, month, day of when it was returned, the material of that item, and whether or not it was returned to the library or not. So if it's true, it was returned. If false, it wasn't. And that's all for our business intelligence and analytics dashboard.